Laymen Live, everybody. Welcome back.
What's going on?
Live.
We're back from
another week. Oh, it's 2 weeks we haven't done Laymen Live.
I know,
we were
sorry,
in
guys.
London,
We missed you.
shilling for Xbox wearing PlayStation merch. Okay, we had a great time in London. Raph is still jet lagged. He slept all day.
I stayed
yesterday.
a few extra days in London just to hang out and kind of just chilled.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically I was
To collect his bag of money from Xbox.
There was so much of it I needed to make 2 trips.
carry on
and
limit,
so
everybody.
I'm still jet lagged. I mean, but it's good though because it means when I'm jet lagged, I go to the gym. Does anyone else do this when they're like jet lagged? They're way more productive.
No.
You don't do this?
No.
When I'm jet lagged, I'm the most productive.
I wake up
well,
early.
I go to the gym. I take care of all my admin. I do my taxes. I'm the best.
Look, when I was jet lagged, I just watched The Mandalorian. That's what I was trying to do. But
still haven't got Disney Plus.
Yeah, you got to get Disney Plus. He's going to try and just get my Disney Plus. Disney, if you're listening, Bob Iger, don't let him do it.
Don't let him have it.
Apart from that, what have you played this week? What have you done?
So this week, because I was traveling, I played Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, I finished that baby. It was very, very good, I
It's
thought.
actually excellent.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really, really surprised at how excellent it is. It's just such craftsmanship on display. Like,
It's so 90s, like almost Banjo-Kazooie in some ways.
very
Like,
Banjo-Kazooie.
every single level, you've
Yep.
got like a pyramid level and a pirate ship level, and like, it was just fantastic.
it was.
Anyway.
And then I also played Pokemon.
Yep.
Holy shit, Pokemon is bad.
We're going to talk about that on Monday.
I fucking hate Pokemon.
Okay, we have different.
I can't believe
opinions.
that this game is the game that still exists and it's the same shit from 20 years ago. I haven't played a Pokemon game in like 10 years, and I was expecting, it has to be really different now because it's been 10 years. Surely they've made lots of improvement. It's the same fucking game that I was playing on Game Boy, and it's bad now.
No one's
it's
calling
bad
out
now.
for a reformation.
Yes,
though, on
lots of people
Pokemon.
are calling out for a
A lot
revised
of people.
Pokemon.
I don't think they are, man. Anyway, we'll get to that. We're going to do an episode,
Sam
and me and
doesn't-
Ralph are just going to fight for 10 minutes of why I think Pokemon's fine.
Sam doesn't want to spoil the episode now because, bro, we can get more clicks out of a
Get more
separate
clicks,
video.
everybody. Okay,
That's right.
All right, so we're going to wait, okay, and throw an
So-
advertisement in there too.
And
Who
I guess
knows?
the other list of things we need to play is, what do you call it?
I got Astral Chain now.
Disco Elysium. We've got to check that out before Game of the Year Awards.
Yeah, and Jedi Fallen Order. I finished that too in one day. I started at 6:30 in the morning, didn't finish until 2 a.m. at night.
Yeah.
But it was so worth it. You've got to do that too. That's another review that
We'll
is
definitely
coming.
do that. And Shenmue, actually. I got to send a copy of Shenmue 3.
Isn't it true that they only want to do drop the reviews after it released?
They actually did, at the beginning, they had the review embargo.
2 days after.
Was after the release. Because what they wanted to do was, like, send the game out 1 or 2 days early. Sorry, 1 or 2 days before release. And because it's a long game, they didn't want people to rush it. So therefore, they would, like, set the embargo date for post-release.
That's the dumbest
which
thing
is
I've ever heard.
obviously ridiculous.
It's them
And,
thinking,
like,
we have a shit game, we got to make sure that people buy it before people know it's shit. That's what it sounds like. You don't do... I mean, like, any good game that's ever come out, like God of War, Death Stranding, for instance, they give you, like, a month before. You know, like, they give you a long time to play it and review it and get it out 2 weeks before it comes out. Anyway...
That's why Death Stranding came out so early in review code, like 3 weeks early.
Because they knew it was good. I don't care what anyone says.
Donkey agrees.
Okay, everyone agrees.
Donkey loved it.
Okay, Donkey, don't worry
you
about
watch
him.
the Donkey
I
video?
actually haven't yet, but I know where you're going with that.
It's pretty funny.
But
I
apart
actually
from that-
I love Donkey. He got a lot of shit for that video.
Did he?
Well, because like he would do things like get the car, for example, and then he would like drive into a
a
mountainside,
crevice thing. Oh, yeah,
and then be
okay.
like, "This game sucks." You know,
That's what Donkey does, though.
I know that's what Donkey does, but like it'd be like reviewing like Mario Kart, driving into a wall and
Yeah.
being like, garbage game 1 out of 5. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I
4 out
love
of 5.
Donkey so much. Like, he's
Yeah.
literally my favorite YouTuber.
Totally.
But he was trying to prove a point rather than like really critically evaluate.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
product,
He's
so.
just probably trying to meme it as Donkey
As we
usually
do,
does.
as we all do.
As we all do.
God bless Donkey.
Okay.
Please get some love in the chat for Donkey.
So guys, we've got a few little bits and pieces today. Where do we start?
Well,
I
I
think
feel
that's
like-
wrapped up the, pretending to care what you did this week. Okay, we've done that.
Yeah, that's
Now let's
done.
move on to the real shit.
So-
Okay. Well, we've got a few little chats. We start the chats, then get into the news.
No. I reckon we should do this first, right?
Okay.
Let's fucking talk about this.
Alright,
Can you fucking
I
believe?
cannot believe
Okay,
this
this
car.
is a true story that we are going to show you right now.
Alright,
Hang
let's
on, I'm
just
going to turn this
mute
music
it.
down. You don't need to hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a true story. This is the new Cybertruck that was just revealed. Look at this car.
What
it's an
is
action.
that?
This is the Cybertruck from Tesla. It was just
Oh my God,
unveiled
look
this
at
morning.
the Neo dude,
Yeah,
like
that's
coming
right.
out, like, come on, what is this thing? I thought it was going to be like cool. It looks like a rover that they've stolen from NASA. They're like, hey, we're just going to mass produce this. It looks ridiculous.
I cannot
No one's gonna buy
believe-
that.
I
No one's
cannot
gonna buy
believe
that.
this. When I saw this picture, I'm like, that's a meme, right? What does the real car look like?
That's exactly
Google
what I
it,
thought.
and then I looked and I'm like, no, that's another one of those fake pictures. Where's the real pictures? And then I saw this, and I saw Elon Musk standing in front of him. I'm like, Oh my god.
Yep, and he
That's
smashed
the
his
real
own windows trying to prove a point that didn't actually prove the point. So I just think it's a gigantic meme. I mean, look, the Teslas usually look pretty cool, and I saw some concepts of like what people thought they were going to look like, and I was like, that's pretty badass if it looks like that. Like a mean like Ram 4-wheel drive, you know, those American Ram things,
Dodge Ram.
yeah, stuff like that. But this is just like Back to the Future, as you said, Back to the Future.
The DeLorean and the Homer had a baby. It really does look like that.
A fat baby. And it's horrendous.
I feel like I really want to see the episode because I reckon what will happen is that Elon Musk will personally deliver one of these to PewDiePie.
Yeah.
And they'll like...
And Marcus Brownlee.
And they'll like hotbox in it. They'll just get fucking baked in the back of this car. I'd watch that. I'd watch that video. So
I would watch the shit out of that. It's great marketing. I reckon Elon will probably do that.
The thing is, right? The thing is, I actually like. I think it looks ridiculous, but I also simultaneously think it looks cool. And I would like if someone just gave me this car, like I don't have to pay money for it. I would definitely drive it, and I would definitely be excited to have it. Do you know what I mean?
I think this.
I would not pay actual money for this, but it'd be cool to have it.
This car is for a dude that's like super wealthy. He's pretty young. He watches YouTube and he's like, you know what? I'm going to meme this for a bit and drive this for a few months. No one's going to have this as their main car. You rock up to a date with this and chick's like,
I don't know, man. I reckon you would
this guy is cooked.
Nah.
Okay, there's something wrong with him. He's driving a tin can, a 4-wheel drive tin can. There's something seriously wrong with this dude. I can't stay for dessert. Honestly.
Nah, I reckon you'd rack chicks with this, man. I reckon you would notch hard.
I mean, I doubt that, man.
I reckon you would.
Doubt that.
Man, the person who drives this has either lots of confidence or crippling insecurity.
Either one.
One of the two.
Watches way too many YouTube
He's definitely
videos.
not just like some boring ass accountant. He's at one end of the spectrum, man. He's living large, or he needs this car to compensate.
Maybe he did his figures because he's in accounting. He's like, I'm going to save fuel on this. And he's like, fucking, I'm going to get this. Anyway, look, we can go on. Is that also an electric?
That's another 80. I think that's like a little bike they also are rolling out. As well,
did you see the warthog photos?
I did.
Yeah, that was very cool.
They were
very cool. So ultimately,
anyway,
guys, that is the biggest shock of 2019, apart from every other shock like Anthem and Stadia. That is the biggest meme I think we've seen this week.
I love it. I think it's great.
Terrible.
Like, God bless Elon for existing. Like, he says some douchebaggy things on Twitter from time to time, as we all do.
He's the meme king.
But like, he fucking knows how to meme, and I feel like this car is just the perfect meme product.
Yeah, maybe he's just like, I'm kind of getting over doing Tesla. How do I destroy it? This is what I'll do.
It's like Tony Stark just trying to take his company by like, I'm not going to make weapons anymore. And he's like, I'm not going to make serious cars anymore. How about that?
I don't know what he's going to do.
So anyway, look, we've got some super chats, and we want to say thank you very much for being here, guys. We love you. Thanks for stopping by. It's already rolling pretty large, actually. Roberto said, Ralph, you totally butchered my first message from previous stream. I forgive you this time. Welcome back, guys. Thank you very much for your understanding.
Appreciate you, man.
Rodrigo. Finally getting to see you guys live. Cheers from Brazil. Thank you.
Thanks,
some rubles from the evil Ruskies.
Ooh.
Thank you. I don't know how to say your name, because that sounds like cockmock.
Cockmock.
That looks like cockmock.
Pocto.
But that is not how you say it. We appreciate the rubles, my friend. Thank you very much. Vitono's with $5 or $5R. $5R.
I don't know.
Robert says, have to love the Ruskies for being close to controlling time travel. Have my respect, buddy. True story, but my Romanians are better at stealing stuff. There you go, then.
There we
Fair
go.
enough. Racevic's in the chat. I saw you, by the way, Racevic. Thank you very much, buddy. Good to see you. And King Yogi says hello to you. $5. Cybertruck 2077. It looks pretty cool. I think Sam and Ralph crushing it. You know what we should do? We should do a fundraising drive to get one of the Cybertrucks.
If we'll
do like a GoFundMe on the Laymen, right?
And then we should buy one. And
then we should like paste it with Laymen.
Maybe it'll end up being like Boogie though, you know, when like rips into him for buying a Tesla.
That's right.
We can't do that.
Boogie's like, I'm so poor, man. I got no money. Next tweet. I just bought $100,000 Tesla, man. Next tweet. Man, I really have no money. I really don't think I should have done that, you know?
That's what we're going to do, people. Okay, subscribers going down.
Vitona's, that's what Anthem would be like if it was a car. Can't disagree with you there. Justin Watkins with $10. I ordered the 3-motor Cybertruck.
Oh, you got it?
But can't get it till 2022.
Holy shit.
I think it's freaking beautiful, and yes, it will be my daily driver.
Oh my god.
2022 is a long way off.
Yeah, well that's what happens with Tesla, right? Like they say, like the roofing panels. Remember the roofing panels that were supposed to do like solar power? That was 5 years ago. Where the hell's that? I wonder if this is never going to come.
Johnny Bowers said with $5 says, "What's Yong's favorite method of birth control?
Young out." I've heard that before in the comment section, but I'm glad glad you brought it back.
It's an oldie but a goodie.
Long out.
JJ, Anchor, you guys rock.
Thank
$5,
you.
and you've given that to us like 3 times,
Oh, wow.
JJ. So I'm feeling like you accidentally.
Well, he said keep up the good work.
Second time. So if you've donated to us accidentally,
Let us
message
know.
us. We'll give you a
And we
refund.
will not respond. We're keeping the money, pal.
One time, actually, some
let us
guy
know.
gave us an extra $250 accidentally. We're like, fuck.
I was like, here's the money back.
We gave it back to him. So anyway,
Okay, next.
let's actually get into some actual gaming news now, because that's
That's
a
what we
should
do,
talk
I
about.
think.
Let's start with one of the
my
more interesting
God.
stories of today.
Yep.
Sources say Resident Evil 3 Remake is in development.
Dude, that is it. Like, that was my favorite Resident Evil. Hands down.
Number 3, Nemesis?
100%. Man, that's it. Number 4 was
Nah,
really
I'd still
fun.
say number 2 was my favorite, personally.
Really? I
Yeah.
felt like Nemesis, I think that's the one that really got me into the series. Number 4 I thought was also fantastic. Wasn't a huge fan of 5, but I thought that 4 was, I don't know. Number 3 for me was like, okay, I fucking love this shit. Number 2, I actually forgot about the guy with the hat. What's his name?
Mr. X.
Mr. X.
Sure,
I actually forgot about that character, and I forgot about that whole game.
because you never finished it, Sam.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I was young back then, right? But the Nemesis
old man now.
stuck with me. That's the difference, you know. Like, that character, that villain was so fantastic.
It was terrifying when he would just burst through and you're just
Totally.
like doing your thing and whatever.
It's like, stop.
So anyway, it's rumored to be in development. It's really not a surprise. It has been rumored for a while. This is actually courtesy of another YouTuber by the name of Spawnwave. And it's funny because, like, I watched his video. He doesn't really provide a source. He just kind of says, I've heard it. And then all these other outlets picked it up and they're like, oh yeah, we've heard this too. So I kind of feel like these other outlets were waiting for someone else to say it. And then when someone else said it, they're like, oh yeah, cool. Someone else has said it. Now we can talk about what
Yeah.
we've heard. They're all
Yeah.
kind of keeping it under their hat. It's unclear when exactly this will be sort of like revealed or what have you. Game Awards is coming up. Maybe, I don't know. The rumor is that this will be on launch for a 2020 release.
Okay.
So that's kind of soonish, you know?
I think they're on a good track record. Like, you know, if Resident Evil 2 does win some awards or does win Game of the Year, I mean, it makes even more sense to double down on remakes for the Resident Evil games.
And to be
you
fair,
know?
they did specifically say that they would be doing more Resident Evil remakes in the future.
Cool.
So it's not, as I said, this is not a big surprise. This is not essentially like
I don't think
big news, but it is the first like time it's been publicly uttered. Other than all these videos from a guy called Michael Does Life, who's this guy? He's this YouTuber that just puts out the same video like once every 2 days.
Is it not the one saying how shit Death Stranding?
Yes.
Yes.
He's this one YouTuber that just constantly makes videos saying a Death Stranding is garbage, even before it was out.
Yeah,
And now
yeah.
his latest project is Resident Evil 3 Remake is garbage. It's cancelled. He just puts out the same video every 2 days. I love him. Go check him out. Michael
I've
Does
seen
Life.
that guy actually. Yeah, I thought he was serious when I first.
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
him
Everyone
about Death
downvotes all his
Stranding.
content because they think he's being serious,
yeah.
but he's just memeing. So anyway,
Okay,
that's Resident Evil. What was next? Okay, cool.
Ooh.
So let's take a look now at Half-Life VR. Now let's have a look. I'll just play this trailer for us first, so everyone's on the same page. Okay. Where's the sound? There it is. It's rolling now. Okay. Hopefully you guys can hear this. Let's see. Is it? No, I've got it. Desktop audio disabled. No. Where the
Sick.
fuck is it? Hello. Why am I not getting any sound? Okay, you're not getting any sound, but you're going to be able
Look,
to
a
see
lot
it.
of people would have watched this anyway. That's okay. So we can have this in the background. So ultimately, Half-Life is going to take place before Half-Life 2?
It is between Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2.
Yes, so before Half-Life 2. So everyone wanted a Half-Life 3, but it looks like the general reception is everyone's really excited for this. I think originally, some people, well, from what I've seen on Twitter, some people were like, oh, I really want a Half-Life 3, but then they saw the trailer and they're like, I'm freaking excited for this.
Okay, let's take it from the top.
Okay, let's do that.
What do you think of what you've seen so far of this trailer?
It's not. I don't really love VR shooting. Like, I just don't really love VR games that I got to sit there for 20 hours and finish personally.
Even though Mark Zuckerberg paid you money to play VR games.
True,
You're like,
exactly
I don't
right.
like VR
I retract
games.
my statement. No, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just not my thing to sit there and play 20 hours of the game. If it's
Sure.
Beat Saber and it's 20 minutes, cool, I'll play. Apart from that, nah. So, look, I'll play this, of course, and we'll probably review it.
Sure.
But I think a lot of people but I'm quite excited about this, though. I just don't think I'm in that camp.
I understand. I personally am, like, disgustingly excited for this. I think this
Sure.
looks incredible. I mean, obviously, firstly, it's running on Source 2, like Valve's new engine. And it looks amazing. It's definitely the best looking VR game we've ever seen. It's important to know it won't look like this for you as you play it, because like the whole screen gating effect of VR, you know, means that it will not look as good. But look, at the end of the day though, like it's still just a massive leap forward for VR as a platform. I do play a fair amount of VR. Like I'm a big believer in it. I bought it into a long time ago and have used it quite regularly since then. Recently played something called Asgard's Wrath as well, which is like 25 hours, like fucking Skyrim level RPG that just handled beautifully on VR. So I personally think this looks fantastic, and I agree with you. I think a lot of people have looked at this now and said, well, I was quite skeptical, but now I'm a believer and I'm quite keen to get into this.
And I'm sure this still leaves a lot of room for the people that are excited for them to be like, well, I'm excited, but I still want Half-Life 3, you know? But
totally.
If this is a movement forward, which we'll get to in the next segment, should we just go there now?
Not yet.
No, okay. If this is a movement...
There's a plan, Sam.
Okay, there is a plan.
I have a plan.
Then, you know, who knows where they want to go with this ultimately. But look, I think this, if this lands well, we might see, we might see more VR games or more Half-Life games.
I think as well, like, there's I think a lot of people are just really pissed off that this is a VR game and not a Half-Life, like a, normal PC game, whatever, console game. But I really feel like this is just super on brand for Half-Life. I think one of the biggest advancements of Half-Life 2 was its engine and its physics, like the gravity gun and the way that the physics in that game operated were next level. They were breakthrough.
I don't actually think we had anything prior to that did that.
Not to that extent, certainly not.
Throw things and stuff.
So I feel like this is such a natural extension for the Half-Life philosophy. Half-Life was just as much about genre advancement, technological advancement, platform advancement, as it was that it was a cool shooty game. Like, it was both of those things. So I feel like this is the perfect next step for Half-Life, because it really is like a big leap forward into a new technological area with a new engine, whatever. I also get that people are like, look, it sucks that it's on VR. I get that as well, don't get me wrong. But I don't, because a lot of people are saying that this is like a lazy cash-in, and that this is, Valve just want to cash in on VR.
It doesn't look lazy.
They would make so much more money if this was not a VR title, because not many people can play this game. In fact, that leads into our next story.
The next story.
This is actually, it's been revealed by looking at, various... I actually forget the name of it. What's the name of the tool, basically? Steam's own hardware survey, right?
Okay.
Only 35% of people have a GPU strong enough to be able to play this game. 35%.
I wonder if this article is just trying to get clicks, but you can go onto lower settings and a lot of people can
No, this is the minimum. This is minimum requirements to boot up the game. So it's not like lower the settings.
Okay, GTX 970. That's getting to a relatively old graphics card there. A lot of people do, in fact, have that. I mean, most people now have the 1050, 1060, 1080, or the 20 series
No, but you
now.
think that, but that's like saying a lot of people have ultra-wide monitors, but if you look at the statistics, 1% of people have ultra-wide. You know what I mean?
No, but ultra-wide is very different from a graphics card now that has aged quite a lot. I mean...
My point is that we hardcore gamers live in this little bubble that we think everyone else lives in, but most people have a computer that's kind of old and doesn't really run it. Like, I remember
mostly Excel spreadsheets and shit.
Yeah, I mean, I remember reading an article from Paul Tassi from Forbes, who he's like a Forbes dude. He fucking whatever.
He's a Forbes dude.
We know a lot of people know Paul Tassi. He's a games journalist, whatever. He says my computer cannot run Half-Life. I will need to upgrade my computer to be able to play it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just one example. So it does feel like this is going to be a situation, and that's just, by the way, who has the GPU. Then you need the actual VR headset. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And that's another thing. A lot of people don't know the fact that this is not exclusive to, to Valve Index.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You can use any VR headset to play this, so that's fine. But you still need to have a VR
that's a smart
headset.
choice anyway, really. As if they're going to gate it to only one particular product or something. That's not in their best interest, because they want to sell as many units as possible of this game. But 35% of people that can only play this... I think they're going to see, in terms of the actual player base and people that pick this up, it might be a lot smaller than they would have, originally thought. Maybe they went out making this game thinking, it'll be fine. By the time we finish this game, a lot of people would have upgraded and it'll fit with a lot of people, but... Maybe not. I don't know.
I don't think that like Valve went into this with their eyes closed. Like, maybe lots of people will have VR and lots of people will have a computer strong. I think they know who has what hardware.
Sure.
Of any company on the planet, they know.
Apart from Google.
They even more than Google, I'd say, when it comes to who has what hardware. I'm pretty sure Valve knows better than anyone.
Sure.
So they obviously made this, I think, looking to the future and the idea that people would play this later on when they do upgrade their hardware, when they do eventually get a VR headset. etc., etc. But yeah, again, I really just push back on the idea that this is a cash-in because they're not forcing you to buy the Index. You can use any VR headset.
Yep.
And
it looks like there's a lot of effort into this product.
It looks like, a lot of effort. And also, if they wanted to make cash, if cash was their objective, they would have just made Half-Life 3 and they would have just pushed it out onto desktops and consoles and whatever else, and that's it. But this is obviously going to make them a lot less money because they want to make this product, and I really respect them for going down this route.
Yeah, I agree. Look, what I mean by, in terms of, the actual hardware, maybe they were just, okay. Well,
here we go. Start again, so here we go.
They ultimately are, there's a bit of a dance there. It's like, okay, we want to make this thing look really pretty and brilliant, and of course the marketing is going to look all nice if we actually put this together. And maybe they were just like, look, that's the payoff there. It'll look fantastic through the marketing, but a lot of people can't play it. But you're right. Maybe a lot of people in the next 5 to 10 years will get a chance to play this. But it is a shame, though, if they have gone down a route knowing that a lot of people that do know and love Half-Life won't be able to play this game. But I mean, I guess we haven't played the game yet to know that technologically the creative choices needed it to be that amount of power in the actual system. But I guess we'll have to see.
Racevic in the comments here says, Valve is not a traditional company. They're one of the few big businesses that can make a game that definitely won't make large profits in the short term, but establish themselves in the long term. I agree with that completely. I think this is a long-term play for Valve, who want to show people that VR is a thing and that will build the platform in the future.
Sure. That could be a strategy. They're like, look, we're not looking to cash in this game. We want to make sure people buy more units or get onto the whole VR thing in general, and then we can cash in later with other titles.
For sure.
Maybe. Not to mention, if VR titles are on Steam, they're making money anyway. So if they can just propel the VR ecosystem forward, then they still win, even if it's not a game they made.
And just to be clear as well, VR's doing okay. Like it's growing rapidly outside the world of video games, in the world like military, science, real estate, etc.
Porn.
It's going. Porn.
That's like a
Let's
thing,
be
right?
real.
Let's
That's
be real.
It's like the graphs are like military, science, technology, porn. That's right. So it's doing really well. On the gaming side, not as strong. However, I just read a statistic from Superdata, and they were like, it's about $780 million worth of VR gaming revenue happening globally at the moment. So it's not a small market.
I know how to fix that.
How do we
gaming
do it?
porn.
Gaming porn. Subverse. We need a Subverse mod.
Hentai porn.
That's right. Let's do it.
But gaming hentai porn.
So look, the good news though is, and this is where we sort of segue into, it's not just VR. Okay,
here we go.
Just recently, Valve have said that there are more Half-Life games coming. They said when asked in the recent interview with The Verge, Valve's David Sparer confirmed Half-Life will continue after Alyx VR ROM. When asked, does this mark a full return to the series? Should we expect more? He replied, yes, it probably is no surprise that many people at Valve have been wanting to get back into the Half-Life universe for a long time, and this experience has only reinforced that. In the process of creating Half-Life Alyx, we've had to explore new ways to tell stories within these characters in this world, and we've discovered a lot of new gameplay experiences that go beyond what we've been able to do before. Of course, we'll have to wait and see how people react to Half-Life Alyx once it's out. However, we'd like to continue pushing forward.
I mean, of course,
that is basically Half-Life 3
But he had no other option there. He was not going to be like, no, we're not doing Half-Life 3, just having this VR game. It would piss everyone off,
I mean,
he needs to
really.
he needs to leave that gate open. He needs to leave that door slightly ajar.
He could have been much more. No, he could have shut it down a lot more. Like, we are only focused on Alyx right now, and that would have been the end of the conversation. He could have said that.
Sure,
You know what I mean?
Sure, but I mean, if I'm a company trying to sell Alyx, and it's
Sell Alyx. That's great.
How much do you want for him?
Her, Sam.
Her, sorry.
Oh my god.
Of course.
Go back and play Half-Life, by the way. You haven't played Half-Life, have you?
No, because my brother's name's Alyx, and I'm thinking. No, I played Half-Life 1 and 2, but I didn't finish Half-Life 2. But anyway.
Okay, right, fair enough.
So, what was I saying now? You've got me off track now. Anyway,
You suck,
long
Sam.
story
That's
short,
what I was saying.
that's what I was thinking he was trying to do. Was like, look, let's just keep this door ajar, because you're right. Look, you are right. They could have shut it down a lot more, but it's a bit ambiguous. That's what I'm saying.
Definitely.
Anyway,
Alright, so look, we've had
super
some super chats, so we should come back to them now, because there's quite a few. Holy shit. Oh, Jesus.
Wow. Okay,
oh my
yeah,
god.
the
No, that's right.
that's it.
JJ, Beers on Me, that's his third donation. Thank you very much. $5.
Let's just try and smash through them.
Thank you, Sam. Do we do these ones?
We do this.
Here to start your
It's a
Valve
boomer
Index
move.
Fund, $5 from something Caucasian. Sam,
Thank
grow
you.
your beard out like mine. You got
Thank
rid of
you.
the beard. We've got 400 rubles. I don't know how
Oh.
much that is. Do you reckon that's a lot of money? I don't know.
Should we check out?
I don't know.
No, we'll do it later. We don't want to be like,
400
how much
rubles.
did you give us?
Yeah,
You know?
Marvin, thank you very much.
Thanks, dude.
Elon must be on
on
cocaine.
cocaine.
I'm pretty sure that man is
Young
coked up.
out. Not young out, but young out.
Thank you, Vitones. Alex Lopez with $2. I recommend trying Pokemon Go again in 2019. I actually haven't booted up in a long time, but I enjoyed Pokemon Go when it was out.
Yep.
King Yogi, $5. So is Capcom just going to remake all the Resident Evils? I'm down for that. I too am down for that. Except for maybe Resident Evil 6 or whatever. I don't know. Racevic, what are your thoughts on that, man, if you're still in the chat? Navi Gill, $2. Show us
Cactar.
more Lord Cactar.
Yeah, he's going to be in the corner with a laptop telling us things in the corner.
Uncanny Valley for $10. When Yong reviews games, why doesn't he rate them either Yong Yeah or
Yong Nah?
That is a good system.
That is great, Young.
agree.
If you're watching, I know you are because you love us. Please, that's the way you should rate games.
Brent M, $5. Thank you very much. Robert is back with another £5. Played Batman VR. Amazing graphics. Gave me the chills. Looking at Killer Croc up front. What? But the static movement of this generation is a bit of a downfall. Okay. I don't know what the croc up is. Fair enough.
Thank you for the donation.
Jern plays. Are we going to cover issues with Copa? We haven't really discussed Copa. Like, Copa's that thing where if you're a kids YouTuber, you're fucked.
Yeah.
So, like, we haven't talked about it. I mean, I don't know too much about it. All I know is
I've done a bit.
it doesn't really affect us because we swear like sailors and we're Australian and like we only make and like I think about 1% of our audience is under 12 or whatever. So
Oh no,
it doesn't affect us.
0% of our audience is under 12.
So it doesn't affect us, but I do believe that if you're a kids YouTuber, you are royally screwed, and there's just like nothing you can do about it.
I just think it's so bad what they've done.
But like, it's not even YouTube's fault per se, in the sense that they're just complying with the laws. So.
I understand that, but it's just, I think it's a shame to think that, I mean, they've got a couple of months to like pretty much shut up shop and have to do something else because they can't interact with the comment section, and I don't believe they can even put ads now on their.
No, they can't put targeted ads.
Well, I mean,
so which is actually like if you targeted ad versus a non-targeted ad, it's like 90% more ad revenue.
Yeah.
So those people who are doing that are really screwed. We
Exactly.
actually know some guys that kind of do make kids content, and we kind of hope they'll be able to
exactly
pay their
right.
rent.
Yeah,
but
and and they're going really well, and they deserve to go really well. And anyway, we'll just have to see what happens.
For sure. Big J, $5. Love you all. You lolly ho. I agree. I've got to get back to Final Fantasy. I've been so busy reviewing other things. Donald with 15 Australian dollars.
Thank you.
Weekly dono. Thank you very much. That's so Australian, eh? Let's abbreviate the word donation. Like
Dono.
weekly dono, mate. Dave
Smoko.
Cross, Half-Life VR. No, says Dave for $10.
Dave.
I don't know, man. What about Half-Life VR and then also other Half-Life?
It could be good.
Would be okay.
Could be good.
What are our thoughts on? Only my thoughts, Sam. They're not interested in your thoughts. What on League of Legends hitting 10 years?
Well, I actually think it's quite good. It's actually incredible to see a game that's stuck around for 10 years. Thank you very much. Now, Ralph, let's go to the next question.
I'm surprised it's lasted this long, to be honest with you.
Really?
Good on them, yeah.
No, I reckon it's... No.
Silent Earth, $50. Very generous, friend. Thank you very much.
Oh, I thought it was $999 there, but it was only the question.
The $9.99 VR Index kit is #1 seller on Steam right now. We wouldn't know because we can't buy it in Australia, so that's just great.
We also can't get the Founders Edition for Stadia, which sucks.
Also
but we
true.
will do that when it does come out.
Mr. Octodonk with $20, my two favourite Aussie boys. Buy some pies. Cheers from New Zealand.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you, my friend. We appreciate you. Then Marcio Costa. Shout out to my crazy drunken meme lords. Thank you, my friend. Colton is back with some Donkey Kong coins.
45
Welcome
Donkey
back.
Kong coins.
Thank you. He
so
says,
much,
I
man.
really hope they'll put effort into Half-Life Alyx for console one day, like in 2021. I hope so.
We'll see.
We'll see. On next-gen hardware, I think it makes sense that they do that.
Sure.
I know PlayStation has said that they are definitely committed to VR as a part of their platform. Xbox has said they're coming around to the idea. Before they were like, I don't know about VR. Now I think they're a bit like, yeah, we need to look at this.
Yeah.
Ultra Ego says $2. Hold the show. I got to take a dump. I'm sorry,
Okay,
my
we'll
friends.
hold right back for you. Don't worry, we'll just sit here for 10 minutes.
Corey McDonough says Laymen Gaming Inside Laymen Lemon Gamon Inside Gaming crossover episode when?
Ooh, that'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
If they're ever at E3,
at E3, we'll crash tackle them and then we'll hold a
punch them
microphone
in the
to
head
them
and be like, we're the captains now.
Someone says Deegan says Copa does affect you. It means video games. That's not true. There is a difference between people who make video games
And
for
make kids
stuff. That's definitely a delineation.
Yeah.
James $5. They really don't want to tell Alex story or to revolutionize VR. They're not making Half-Life 3 because they're terrified it would not live up to expectations. Maybe that's true. I don't know. David Cross, other Half-Life, yes, for $20. Thank you very much, my friend.
nice.
Okay,
Thank you very
good.
much,
That was a
David
lot
Cross.
of super chats. Thanks for sticking with us, friends. We'll get back onto the news now.
I think we should do an entire hour of super chat once. Like, it's getting to the stage.
It's just like that, isn't it? So, look, one thing that we didn't get to cover while we were away was the announcement of Path of Exile 2.
Yes.
Can I just say that I'm really excited for Path of Exile 2.
It looks fantastic.
I have watched this. It looks absolutely superb. So Path of Exile, obviously the free-to-play ARPG that was sort of like Diablo 2 sequel.
With guns.
No, not with guns necessarily.
Oh, is that gun? Yeah.
What are you thinking of?
No, that one there.
Oh, well,
Is that a
but
gun there?
that's not like the defining feature.
No,
it's
I
not
know
like
that.
Remnant from the Ashes.
No, I know that.
It's a Diablo game.
It's a Diablo game. And there's also... Oh, I mean, should we talk about mobile yet? Or no?
We'll come back to that.
Oh,
Sam.
sorry.
That's
okay.
our next story
Sorry,
item. Thank
my
you.
bad.
So anyway, yes, it was announced while we were away in London. It's in development. It's also going to be that kind of like funky number 2, which is like it's not like you know how like Overwatch is doing that thing now.
Oh, I see. They're doing the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but sort of not though. There's definitely more advancements with this one, with a completely new campaign, a new engine, new mechanics, new everything. Right. So I think that. This is obviously a free product that they're calling number 2, but they're sort of building on the existing game.
Yeah.
But it's not like a number 2 product in quite the same way as we're typically used to. It does have that kind of crossover. Whereas
is it
something
going to have
like
a crossover? Like you can actually... Like, is this just a single player game?
well, no, you've got co-op.
You can go
multiplayer as well.
co-op. That's right. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, are you able to be jumping in with the Path of Exile 1?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know.
cool.
Well, I don't know. But I do know that it's more sort of like a more chunky sequel than the likes of Overwatch is, which just sounds like, hey, maybe some
It's just
single-player
Overwatch
content.
2.0, but we'll just see.
You mean 1.5?
1.5.
It's Overwatch 2.0. Nice. But look, it's really good to see that these guys are doing this. Like, this is a New Zealand company. Did you know they're New Zealanders?
Oh, actually, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
From the mobile thing when they were doing digs at Blizzard when they were talking about the devs.
That's right.
Yeah.
But like, it's guys that set up their own studio. They made an honest game. It's a free-to-play game, but has really fair monetization. It's done extremely well, very respected by its community and by people in general. I have not spent much time with Path of Exile 1, but now that 2's on the way, I'm basically just going to like hold off and I'm going to jump into 2 when it launches.
Yeah, I know.
It's coming out sometime next year. I'm really excited for it.
Well, shocking. I actually never haven't spent any time with Path of Exile. Very shocking. But I think perfect time to come along. Diablo is not in the greatest state.
Yeah,
right now.
it's a really good time.
It's not a good state for Diablo.
For
so,
sure,
you know,
for sure.
and look, they also did a perfect marketing strategy, everybody, okay? They didn't just release Path of Exile. They didn't just announce Path of Exile 2. They also did, hey guys, we're also doing a mobile version of this, right? But what a perfect way to do it. Let's show the new game. And also, look, we're doing a side project. It's going to be a mobile game. Then talk about how we want to pretty much make it like, you know, a normal game. It just happens to be on mobile.
This guy actually opens this video by saying, so mobile games are kind of bullshit, right? And then just kind of talks about like all the garbage in mobile games. And he's like, so what we want to do is make a Path of Exile game on mobile that's not bullshit. And like, they want to try and provide a really uncompromised Path of Exile experience on mobile. You know, we've only seen...
It looks kind of like the same. The beauty of mobile is sometimes it looks like the same graphics on a small thing.
Sure.
But, you know, I think this is a direct response in terms of how they've handled this from how Diablo went. Be very interesting to see if they would have gone down this path if, you know, Diablo's mobile single announcement went well.
Well, they actually made a dig in this as well, because they made 2 digs. This guy actually right here is saying, we didn't just farm this out to an external studio, we made it ourselves. And it's just kind of like, ouch. So, and the other thing they said was that, it got much harder to announce this a year ago, obviously alluding to the fact that they were working on this and they were going to announce it without announcing anything else. And they're like, maybe we hold off on that one and we'll do it. So they like to sort of have little digs at Blizz throughout this process.
Yeah.
But like, man, good on them for like fucking making a mobile game themselves that is not going to be pay-to-win garbage. Like, I do not for a second believe that Diablo Immortal will be a good product.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, I just don't have any faith in that.
It's hard to know, but I do think
I think it's really easy to know what Blizzard's about with their monetization.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, I don't know if it's going to be pay-to-win, but I definitely think it's going to be very heavily, you know, cosmetic-driven. All the coolest stuff is going to be behind a paywall. I think that's what it's going to be, you know, which is going to be a shame. But we've been seeing it, you know, with loot boxes, with Overwatch, and all this kind of stuff. I just think that's going to be the path, and someone's phone's going off. But, it's not a good track record at the moment for good old Blizzard.
No, it's not. But anyway, good luck, Grinding Gear Games.
Yes.
We respect you guys. You're doing okay. We appreciate you. Super Chats, where they at?
Oh my God, more?
Bring them up. There is more.
Awesome.
Sam's like, yes.
Yes!
James, PS Valve loves money as much as Gabe loves cake. Ooh, that's brutal.
Ouch.
Zendru, how you doing, buddy? Good to hear from you. Morning, mates. Consider we will have FF7 Remake, Doom, a new Half-Life, and Cyberpunk and all over just a space for about a month next year.
Wow.
Insane. Like, can you
That
imagine?
is going to be a heavy month for us.
I'm so scared, man. How am I going to do all this?
And Ralph got me FF7 for Christmas. Was it? When did you... Oh, for my birthday.
I did. Did I buy you the bundle?
You better have bought me the vinyl, right?
Yeah, I bought the vinyl. That's it. Yeah, I bought
He
the
doesn't
vinyl.
know now.
Yeah.
Shit.
No, I definitely bought it.
Get it.
I bought PSVR at launch, so now I'm very reluctant to invest in another VR headset. That's very fair. I can totally understand that. So, look, let's keep going now. One of the more interesting pieces of news that I saw this week was that Remedy are working on a Call of Duty style campaign for the biggest FPS.
We saw this in London, actually.
Now, I don't know anything about CrossfireX. CrossfireX is apparently made by this South Korean company, and it's like Counter-Strike.
It's like Call of Duty also. It's kind of a mixture.
Yeah, and it's like... And it has like apparently like 650 million players or something.
Does it?
Ridiculous. Something, or like total accounts
It was
signed
like that
up or
other
whatever.
game, that Super Go-Kart game or
A
something. I had
go-kart
no
game.
idea.
What was that called? Like
I don't
Kart
know.
Master or something. It was
Something
kind of
like
like, I don't know, man, you guys need a new name or whatever, you know?
Yeah, big time.
But yeah, so look, that game, that they have a partnership now with Microsoft. They are bringing that game to Xbox for, you know, this gen, next gen, whatever. And what they have said is that Remedy, the guys who make Control and Alan Wake and
Something else.
Quantum Break, and before that Max Payne, etc., they are going to be making the single player campaign for that game. I think that's pretty cool. Like,
Look,
that's
I think,
pretty
you know, they're nominated for Game of the Year right now. I mean...
which is a dumb nomination.
Sure,
I'm sorry.
I agree with that, but what I'm saying is it's great currency to use in terms of like, hey guys, we're up to the task for this, you know?
I mean, no one doubts they're up to the task for it. That's...
No, in terms of like...
I just think it's an interesting choice because Remedy are quite left of center with their design choices and what they do. And this is like a very standard, like, shooty game from what I can tell. You know, I don't know that
Maybe
much
there's gonna
about
be like
it.
a red phone that the guy picks up.
Yeah.
And, you know, smoking weird rooms and shit.
But like, they
Who
could
knows?
actually make a really interesting campaign. And that's kind of what I was talking about recently with my video with Call of Duty and Spec Ops The Line. I'm like, you don't really see a lot of developers kind of taking risks in this space. Like, they run very safe stories and whatever.
Yeah.
If anyone's going to do some funky shit, it's probably going to be Remedy. So I'm actually really excited to see them kind of like doing this.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
that'd
And look,
be
I
cool,
mean, if
you
they
know?
can make a compelling product that already has a giant fan base in other parts of the world, maybe it can compete with the likes of, maybe not Counter-Strike, but definitely Call of Duty, you know?
No,
like-
apparently it's bigger than Counter-Strike already. So-
Really?
Yeah,
I
because
feel
like-
like Counter-Strike's like, all the players, like,
No,
forever.
they say this is the biggest first-person shooter. I mean, like, don't
wow.
forget the Asian market, man. It just dwarfs every other market. So
And there's games that we've just never heard of that are like 400 times bigger than like Dota and League of Legends that we've never heard of. But anyway.
yeah, true that. It's not like those like Japanese mobile games where we've never even heard of them, but they make like $1 billion a month.
Well, yeah, we recently covered some of them.
Grand.
Yeah,
sounds
no,
like one of them
we
or
covered some
something.
of them actually because anyway, yeah, I know what you mean.
So anyway, look, you know, that's that. Next story. Blizzard
bad?
Speaking of, you know, political whatever story games.
That was not a good
shooters,
segue.
It was
but
pretty
continue.
awkward. Activision Blizzard CEO doesn't think its games should be political. Now, this is an interesting headline because this question always gets asked by journalists. Like,
Sure.
do you think your game should be political? To which video game man/woman replies, no, it should not be. Actually, when I was doing my COD video, I listened to the developers being like, oh, I don't think our game is political. And then someone said in response, like, really? Like, really surprised? And then the developer was like, to be political, it has to be telling a story about this exact administration, about an exact country, etc. And like, I've just played Call of Duty. It's literally about like Syria. It has
Yeah.
like chemical weapons. It has all this political stuff in it, but they're too scared to say that it's
Exactly.
got political elements because like this word is like cursed. Do you know what I mean?
It's definitely become a very dirty word in the last couple of
Big
years,
time.
especially.
Big time. So,
Yeah, I mean,
so
Division of anyway.
yeah, the
there's-
Division copped a lot of
yeah.
flack as well. I don't think the Division was actually a very political game, though. It had like one quick mention of like, oh, do you have a gun or
Yeah,
not? But
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it kind of was really apolitical to a ridiculous degree. But anyway, this question was put to Activision Blizzard CEO, and he's
Probably
like,
got it.
and he says, we're not the operator of the world's town halls. He says, we're the operator of the communities that allow you to have fun through the lens of a video game. He says, my responsibility is to make sure that our communities feel safe, secure, comfortable, and satisfied and entertained. And so that doesn't convey to me the right to have a platform for a lot of political views, I don't think. I think my responsibility is to satisfy our audiences and our stakeholders, our employees, our shareholders.
That's a pretty shitty response.
Well, I mean, like,
I personally, it's like, well, why can't you take? Oh, look, why can't you make games that are political? Who cares if they are? I believe Call of Duty was definitely political in terms of like it was trying to lean into political ideas at
Definitely.
least, you know, and like there's nothing something wrong with that. Why has it become such a dirty word? You know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of people are sensitive to it because they feel like they're being preached to in games, and I understand that.
I get that. I understand that, but at the same time, like, if you want to like talk about the world and you want to talk about war and you want to make it about present day or roughly present day,
Yeah.
I mean, it leans into it a lot of the time that you're going to like touch on current themes or like very recent themes, you know?
For sure. He goes on to say, I think there are some business people who are incredible examples of character and integrity and principle and have what you see are the great attributes of leadership, and I think they are incredibly inspiring for me, he said. But I think, they do have the right to articulate views and visions and voices about government and policy and politics, and I love engaging with those people. Kotaku says apparently he is not one of them, which is kind of a burn. They're obviously making some reference to the fact that he heads up the company that took this stance recently with Hong Kong, whereby they completely shreked Blitzchung and these two casters for making their voices heard about political unrest.
Which is sadly kind of gone away right now. Like, it's
everyone has kind of forgotten about that, sadly. But like, this is the guy at the top of the pyramid when it comes to that decision making. So obviously he's going to have a very firmly apolitical perspective on things because he doesn't want to rub people the wrong way, specific markets the wrong way, whatever else. But yeah, it's just another one of these examples where I think that I don't believe developers are they're not phrasing this correctly, which is like, it's perfectly fine if a game wants to be political. It's perfectly fine if it doesn't want to be political. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think we can have this like blanket approach where games can't touch any political themes. Yeah. Because that's not smart. That becomes
boring.
Sense. Do you know what I mean?
Like, it's okay to make a game that is making commentary or, is dancing around commentary of present day, what's going on or whatever. That could be interesting and like, I think it can create a story that has a lot more substance than like, oh, this is all make-believe in some fairy tale world. Like, it's okay to leave the actual player with a message.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's also okay to not do that. Like,
exactly right.
It's totally fine on both sides of the equation, but it just seems frustrating that developers are so unwilling to like acknowledge the other side of the argument exists. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, that's that. But look, from that news to objectively good, awesome news.
Yes.
And that is Age of Empires won't have any microtransactions.
We'll have all the microtransactions, everybody.
So Age of Empires 4 won't have microtransactions or in-app purchases. The developers have said the idea of microtransactions in real-time strategy games isn't a thing. I don't know. He says the creative director, Adam Isgreen, at XO19 in London. DLC, expansions, all of that thing is what we're going to be exploring for Age of Empires.
Sure, so 4. Old school style. Like, we make a big content drop, here it is, pay $20 for it or whatever. Or maybe $30, I don't know what it's going to be. But like, I agree with that. Like, how do you really do an RTS where you kind of micro...
You could so do it, man. You just sell skins for the units. Like, if you want to buy the skin pack for the,
they're so tiny though, like you can barely see them. Like,
because that makes a difference. You can you can buy like driver helmets in Forza. You're driving a car in first person. You can buy,
true, what I mean? Like, true. No, I agree with that. I do agree with that. But like, some people will buy that. But like, me personally, I would be the perfect candidate of being like, that's fucking dumb, I'm not buying that shit. But I mean, look, you could also do pay to win stuff, of course. You can make the artillery at the back stronger if you've got a certain type of unit, and that would just completely break the game.
Nah, they would never do that.
Exactly. What I'm saying is that would completely break the game. So it would only be cosmetics. But they've obviously just seen the current climate and they're like, dude, we're not going to mess with this shit.
Yeah.
Because Age of Empires is like nostalgia on, like, this is the game we all grew up on, especially if you love RTSs in the early 90s and whatever. Age of Empires 2, it taps into that. If they did this, I would have been like, what a disappointing move, and what a disappointing evolution for this with this franchise.
I agree, but let's not forget, Microsoft have not had good track records when it comes to monetization of their games. Like Forza, for example, has their whole VIP pass, which radically increases the speed at which you gain credits.
Yep.
Microtransactions
I remember Gears. Did Gears have...
Gears of War has lots of microtransactions in its multiplayer.
It didn't have them when we reviewed them, though.
They were disabled in the review cycle.
Yes.
Some of them are really expensive, like $30 for skin weapons and stuff, for weapon skins. Halo has its whole, like, what do you call it? Not supply drop, requisitions or something like that, where the Halo 5 had this whole thing where you had to, like, pay for stuff. Microsoft go quite large on their microtransactions.
What's a shame? I definitely thought it was pretty shitty that they actually were disabling. If I do remember correctly, they did disable. You're right, microtransactions when we were reviewing it, and I just think that's a shitty thing to do, dude.
All games do that.
You need to just show us what this is going to be. It's such a sneaky thing to do, and it ends up coming out after. Fine, I get it. You want to sell as many units as possible, but you leave bad taste in the mouth of a lot of consumers, and people are less hesitant to come back. It's just a shitty thing. And Call of Duty did that too, the whole red dot shit, and then everyone's just like, this is a giant meme now, so it doesn't matter if you bring it out.
You're a giant meme, Sam.
I am a giant meme, but, anyway.
Kamal with $5 says, play Death Stranding. This game should be called Wait for Your Death in Real Time. Swapped it for Outer Worlds. Skill up, come back to Twitch. I will be back at Twitch very soon, actually.
What game did you play? Are you going to go back and do WoW Classic?
I wanted to do it, but I don't have time, I don't think.
And now it's a dirty word. You cannot go near Blizzard games.
I just want to play Final Fantasy. I don't really care about WoW anymore. Final Fantasy is just so much better. I can't be bothered. Anyway, do you think Diablo Immortal being MTX to hell saves Diablo 4 from having microtransactions? No, I don't, Luke. In fact, the developers of, or Blizzard, I should say, have already said that Diablo 4 will have microtransactions. It will have cosmetics. So that's just a perfect example as well. Like,
what a shitty
What
thing
a
to do.
shit start for that fucking game.
I mean,
like, why the fuck does Diablo 4
This
need
is another
microtransactions?
pillar of gaming, you know, when you look at certain games that, as I said, do tap into the nostalgia. It's very hard to sell the new monetization structure of today, because you're tapping into when you were like 10 years old and like how the whole game was just given to you for one price.
Diablo 2, man, like what a game.
Exactly.
Like,
and like
what
you
a
just
game.
you pay for that, you pay for the DLC and that was it, you know, like. And if they do that with Diablo 4, I mean, it's going to be a giant meme fest, and we're going to love it. Let's face it. But like, you know what I mean? It's going to be so disappointing for so many gamers.
Robert is back with another £10. Robert, you've been very generous this stream, my friend. Thank you very much. Scientists just created a chip where you feel physical pain while playing VR. Not looking forward to it. I don't think I would want that chip, to be honest. I don't want to feel how it is being broken in half by Killer Croc.
Oh, is that what he was meaning before?
I think he was meaning that in Batman.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Now
I get you now.
Luke with $5. Have money. Love you guys.
Love
Thank
you
very
too,
much,
Luke.
friend.
Thank you.
Unfinished sentence. What game do you guys think is going to win Game of the Year? My personal pick is Smash. Not because I loved it the most, but because I think it deserves it.
I loved it the most.
I think it definitely deserves.
I think Death Stranding should maybe win based on how ambitious it was and how much it was trying to move a lot of the industry forward in some respects, but I don't think it will. Based on how many people didn't like it.
HK47 with $10. Thanks for all the content, Laymen. You're very welcome,
HK.
my friend. Guys, next story. One of the things that was rumored but not delivered at BlizzCon this year was the idea of a Diablo 2 remake. The actual creators of Diablo 2 went on to tell a story about how they basically lost all of the source code for Diablo 2.
And this has happened with other games too, like Final Fantasy VIII and stuff like that.
No, but this one was different. This one was actually just before they were about to ship the game, and they had to radically rebuild it based upon what people had at homes on their hard drives and stuff. So that source code is lost, and they say that it's going to make it very hard for them to do a remaster. Furthermore, there have also been other reports that the Diablo 2 remaster that was scheduled or planned or what have you has been cancelled.
Really? That is such an easy title, I think, to yes.
Not if you don't have the source code, because then you need to rebuild it from scratch.
I mean, look, even if you build Diablo 2 from scratch, it's going to sell. You definitely do that. Do you know what I mean? If I can think of any Blizzard title that you could remaster and you could bank on that you're going to make money, it's Diablo 2.
I feel like it would just steal Diablo 4's thunder. Because I feel like Diablo 2 is so good, and if you did a really good job of remastering it, you would cut into the sales of Diablo 4.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I agree with that, actually. But maybe it's 3 years, maybe 3 years on after Diablo 4's had its day, bring that out. You know, people would definitely want that. You know, Toy Story 2 actually had that same story. Before it came out, it lost all its animation.
Really?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's right. Someone looking it up now, but I'm pretty sure
didn't happen.
Before Toy Story 2 came out, they lost the whole thing. Anyway,
awkward.
Look. I mean, hopefully we do see Diablo 2 in the future, because as I said, I mean, can you think of any other game from Blizzard that you'd like to see a return of? Even more from Reforged. I loved Warcraft 3.
No other Blizzard game would I want to see remastered more than Diablo 2.
Exactly. So it's a simple case of when, not if. I think.
No, I think it's a case of if.
No way. There's going to be a time very soon where Diablo 4 is going to come out or whatever, and they'll be like, okay, what's the next IP? Fuck it, Diablo 2 remaster. We can make all the money. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Who knows?
So, look, one of the sad stories that we missed while we were away is that Prey's developer Human Head Studios shut down due to economic realities. Now, just to be clear, Prey the original Prey was made by Human Head Studios. Bethesda then acquired the IP, and Prey were working on the sequel to it, and you should go and Google right now Prey 2 and watch the trailer for that game, because it looked fucking cool. It was you know that scene in Star Wars Attack of the Clones where they're like racing through Coruscant, chasing this bounty hunter and
course.
stuff. It's kind of like that, actually. It's kind of like that. It looked really cool.
Okay.
Everyone was super psyched for it, but apparently the game just wasn't coming together.
Yeah.
And
Toy Story 2 was deleted 2 times. Thank you.
2 times. Wow,
times.
there you go. Anyway, so Prey 2 never came out, and then Bethesda said, look, this isn't working. We're going to give this IP to Arcane, who made Prey, and they just called it Prey. A lot of people hated Prey 2016, I believe it was, because they're like, this is not Prey 2 from Human Head. This is a different game completely. It's an immersive sim where, you know, Prey 2 was kind of like a, I don't know, how would you call it? Like an action-y, it was an action shooter, but also had some like puzzle-solving elements, cinematics, whatever.
Yeah.
Either way, the developers who made that original game, they've just shut down. They put out recently The Quiet Man. Remember that game?
God.
Yeah, so it's
we didn't play it, but my God, I saw the reviews.
It's unsurprising that this developer has closed down given the success of The Quiet Man.
It was such a fail before it even released that I believe it was Square Enix that published
They
that,
did
right?
publish it,
They
correct.
didn't.
Well done, sir.
Thank you. They
Well done.
didn't even promote it.
Didn't market it at all.
They did not market it at all. Not one bit of marketing for this game.
Yeah.
Because they obviously
knew.
I watched Jim Sterling's review on this. He was genuinely dumbfounded that this thing even was a thing. Like, it was actually an hilarious thing to watch.
So the good news, though, is for these developers, the guys who worked at Human Head Studios, is that they are going to be going to a different studio called Roundhouse Studios, a new company owned by Bethesda. So that's, look, I'm glad these people have jobs.
I agree with that, though.
But it is
That's
sad
good.
that they are working for the likes of Bethesda.
With good old Todd.
Where they're probably just going to be forced to churn out updates for Fallout 76
and make
subscription.
and Fallout Second. You know, we've seen Fallout First, now Fallout Second with this team. No, but look, it is good that they have jobs because, you know, we've seen a lot of times where, you know, what's it called? Companies, development companies, there we go, shut down.
Yeah.
And they're just got nowhere to go, and it's such a sad thing. And
So
you know, it's
good-
a lot of them move half across the world and stuff to even take these jobs. So
Definitely.
it's good that
a lot of people in the games industry have to move really far to get a job because
Yeah.
it's not like in Australia, for example, if you wanted to be a games developer, you just basically couldn't unless you were making mobile games
Yeah.
in Melbourne. That's it.
Even then, the EA Monkey Studio, whatever it was called, shut down.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It
there's
was
not
actually
many
called
here.
Monkey. We're not just saying they were monkeys.
No. It's called Monkey
I
something.
think it was called something monkey something.
Yeah, I'm not just
that's
like,
right.
those are monkeys.
So, okay, the other story that I thought was really interesting that we missed was that there are rumors to suggest that Warner Brothers has cancelled 2 open-world Superman games since 2013.
I can't think of anything worse than a fucking Superman.
I can't think of anything worse than an open-world
Honestly.
Superman game. Like, Superman 64 memes aside,
Yeah.
how do you make Superman fun in a video game? How do you
He's
do
already
it?
powerful.
He's
Unless
the
you
most
make it
powerful thing ever.
Unless it's a Metroid style game where you lose all his powers just to like get it all back.
Oh, yeah, right.
I mean,
well,
like,
that'd be a fresh take.
That is the only way they could do it, though. Like,
yeah.
They could, I've lost my X-ray vision. I've lost my whatever. Like, that's the only way. Because if you just start and you're flying around and killing everybody and you've got all the powers, what's the point? There's no challenge. It's stupid.
Yeah,
Every character will have the kryptonite. Like,
Yeah.
what will this boss have?
Kryptonite
fuck.
gloves,
Everything.
kryptonite sword, kryptonite belt,
Everything.
kryptonite fucking wallet. He takes it out,
Everything.
throws money at Superman. You know, like it's that'd be the whole game. You know?
I mean, I can see why. I just think just don't make this game. Just don't do it.
I agree.
Just don't do it. No one wants this game. I don't think I've ever seen anyone on Twitter or in the history of gaming in general being like, bring back Superman 64.
You know what people really want right now? They really want the Snyder Cut. They're like, release the Snyder Cut. Have you seen this?
No.
You know, like Zack Snyder, who was the original director of Justice League.
Yes.
And then, like, he got booted off or whatever. I forget exactly what happened. But now, like, because then Justice League came out and it was arse. And then all these people are like, hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Because all these people think that A, this exists, and B, it will be good. Sorry, nothing will save the Justice League at all.
I don't
okay?
think what's the last good DC? Oh, I mean, Joker. Fine. Joker was actually the
I
last.
feel like that's so not DC Universe.
I mean, look, before then it was probably Batman. Before that.
That's what I'm saying, but they feel like so. I feel like
No.
We're talking
Justice League
like
was terrible.
We're talking like Suicide Squad. We're talking Batman vs Superman.
Oh,
we're
that
talking
was
Justice
so
League.
bad.
Aquaman actually was apparently good.
I watched it. I thought it was actually quite good, but it was so ridiculous. Like it was trying to just kind of take the piss of itself, and it was fine. It was actually quite good.
Sure.
So, we got one more. I
Speaking
think.
of there's
Oh, sorry,
two.
super
Speaking of
chats.
taking the piss out of ourselves, let's do some super
Yeah,
chats.
that's good.
We've got what do we got here? Colton with another 45 Donkey Kong points. Thank you, Sam. I would love to play Age of Vampires.
So what I'm saying, like, so people think that because we're Aussie, we say certain
Age
things
of
wrong.
Vampires. Really? They say Age of Vampires.
Like
Age of Vampire. Okay,
Call
I
of
can
Duty.
see.
Call of Duty. You see those in the comment section?
I have seen those sorts of comments, yeah. Call of Duty. They're
I get it. We're Aussies.
That's how we speak. Stop judging
It's all
us.
the good coffee.
Chris Lockwood, $5. Senpai, exclamation mark. Thank you, friend.
Thanks, man.
Brendan, Brendral Nelson, $5. Just bought Diablo 2 on PC for $10, and that's the only money I'm spending on Diablo anytime soon. Love
Worth
you guys.
it.
Thank you.
Worth it.
Thorix, 500 yen. Love you guys.
Thank you.
From Japan. You guys have become the first show I watch when I open YouTube now. Also, so happy to see so many Japanese games this year for Game of the Year.
Sure.
Japanese, man, they know how to make video games.
They know how to
what they're
just do shit in general.
Kamal asked for $2. Are we doing a Star Wars review? I need to play it this week.
We will, though.
Right now, I'm playing Pokemon because
Ralph's lagging behind. This is actually the first time I think Ralph's lagging behind, and I'm up to date with all the games.
You are ahead. That's true.
Yeah.
Robert with another £10. He's back. Long-time Blizzard supporter until Blitzchung. I relate as a Romanian. We'll never give them pence. Don't care how cool Diablo will be since it's made around microtransactions. Just disappointing. I do agree on that front. Corey says, found someone who finally thought Ghost Recon Breakpoint was an amazing game. He was arrested a couple of weeks ago for dealing large quantities of meth. Well, you're a legend, Corey.
It doesn't surprise me.
We love you, dude.
Does not surprise me. Have we got any more news? That's it.
We do. We have 2 more quick items. So let's do it. This is actually a really funny burn. Okay, right. So Randy Pitchford decided there's a thread going on right now on Twitter, which is kind of like, what minor issue has ruined an otherwise great game for you, which is like PC Gamer, and all these people have responded. Okay. And then Randy Pitchford responds, trying to be all edgy, only on Valve Index VR, right?
89 likes, that's all he got.
He's trying to make it out like the new Half-Life game is only available on Index, like roasting Steam for doing exclusives. But the fact is, it's not an exclusive to the Index.
And
you
he
can use
did an
any
exclusive.
VR. And everyone in the comment section is roasting him like, you are a fucking moron.
Yeah.
Someone is developed by Gearbox. All these people are just talking about like epic exclusive.
The thing is, he is the biggest hypocrite because he went exclusive.
Well, that was his point, I think. Like, oh, see, they're doing it as well. I'm not so bad, right, guys?
Oh, I thought he was trying to. Okay, I see. But still.
Such a dickhead.
Still. I mean, look, every time you go on Randy's Twitter, there's always something
so
fun.
Bad.
It's always half-hour episodes.
It is. It is. That comment, I think, is like 4,000 upvotes on the PC subreddit.
Oh, does it?
PC subreddit hate Randy Pitchford.
I think most
they
people
hate Randy. They hate Tim Sweeney.
Yeah.
They hate them. You know what I mean? So
I think Twitter mostly hates Randy, to be honest.
a lot of people.
All right, so last story, guys.
You want to tell this one, Sam?
Okay, guys. Now, look, there's a tiny game called Ocarina of Time. That's an edgy
Nice,
opening.
Sam,
Very
nice,
edgy.
nice.
Okay, some brilliant genius modder dude, right, has literally integrated Mario 64's gameplay assets into Majora's Mask. What's it called? Zelda Ocarina of Time. So you can finish the whole thing, right? Ocarina of Time with Mario, right? And you have to get certain items that allow you to finish the actual dungeons, like bombs, like throwing the hat, like getting fire.
This guy.
Yeah, like you get him instead of that giant jabber thing. You have to see the giant penguin. What a brilliant thing.
And it's not just like, hey, we'll put Mario in the levels. Like they've rebuilt the entire game.
Whole thing.
It's like Metroidvania as well, where Mario unlocks abilities to be able to progress further. There are 20 abilities for him to unlock.
And there's over 170 stars.
Remember this room in Ocarina of Time? So they basically made the game so that it plays like a Mario game, but it's set in the like an Ocarina of Time skin, So this thing is called, if you want to check it out, it's Super Mario 64 Time by Ocarina of Time.
Even the puzzle system's interesting.
The whole thing. Anyway, we're just bringing it up because it was so amazing. Go check out this guy's YouTube.
Around.
It's K's Eminar or whatever. I'm sure Nintendo will delete this thing pretty soon.
That's the sad thing. I mean, it looks so fantastic.
But at the end of the day, it's amazing. And so we just wanted to shout it out and be like, good job.
That's the thing. If I was Nintendo, I'd be like, fuck it, leave it. It's free advertising.
Please,
We're not looking to
Nintendo.
remaster this thing. And look, it's not even a remaster of their games. It's like a new concept. It's like a it's like a different take. Just let that be.
Nintendo will strike it down for sure. They love doing that. That's their favorite thing. We finally got some super chats. Corey, for $5, find something. No, we've already got that one. And then
so just go
from
to
Angry Liquid, and then I think we're done. Have you guys tried the free demo Undefeated on Steam? It's pretty good. Shows what a good Superman game could be. I have not tried it. No.
Okay.
But anyway, we'll check it out. Anyway, guys, that's the week in the news with Laymen
Thank
Dump.
you guys so
Coming up this
much.
week, we'll have a Pokemon review where I basically complain about it endlessly for like...
And I'll be there to tell him why I think he's kind of wrong.
No, we've already had this conversation, and you basically agree with everything that I say, and then you're like, oh, yeah, but still,
No,
it's just Pokemon, like, it's okay, like, it's
I
fine.
agree with some of your points, but that doesn't mean that Pokemon needs to have a complete overhaul.
It needs an overhaul, I'm sorry.
So many people love what Pokemon is. They just
Pokemon
want it
is
to
shit
come
now.
out every couple of years or whatever, and like it's just the same idea, and they
garbage
just
now.
get to jump in and play new Pokemon.
terrible,
We'll get to
man.
it more though. We want those clicks, but also we're also going to be doing
do Jedi
Jedi Fallen
Outcast.
Order.
Sorry,
We're
Jedi
doing
Fallen
Jedi
Order.
Outcast,
We'll do Jedi
guys,
Outcast
okay?
as well.
And then we'll do Fallen Order.
And then maybe Shenmue if you have some time.
we only got one copy.
Yeah,
We're going to share that, baby.
And
what platform? Oh, we'll figure that out.
It's on Epic Game exclusive. Yeah.
Of course it is.
And then I think there'll obviously be some news this week. The Game Awards will be up soon as well. We'll try and do a
12th.
live screening of the Game Awards.
Look, if you're still jet lagged on the 12th of December, you know which won't be. But
won't be.
we'll be up at 3 a.m.
is
doing
it 3 a.m., is it?
I don't know. We
We'll
should
have to
check
time.
that.
Don't do it now while we're
we won't
live,
do it
but
now.
we'll look at it.
But we'll have a look at it.
And other than that, we'll just keep roasting Yong and
Inside Gaming. And
Inside Gaming. And we love you guys. Thanks very much for stopping by. And Yong
That's
out.
it, really. Thank you very much, guys. Love you so much. We will see you on Monday. Yong out.